It's been an image synonymous with the Arab Spring political uprisings. Thousands of people protesting against the existing order by occupying city squares, sometimes for days and weeks on end. Now it's happening in Spain. On the eve of local elections, some 25,000 demonstrators defied a government ban and camped out in Madrid's central square in protest against the government's austerity measures. And they want the rest of Europe to rise up and join them. Kylie Morris reports.
They call themselves Los Indignados, the indignant ones, and have staged a brazen takeover of Spain's city squares in defiance of the state and its laws. Tens of thousands protesting across the country ahead of tomorrow's local elections.
Maybe for the first time in our history, somebody will listen when the people speak. Nobody knows what's going to happen, but for sure, a change is coming.
Last night, they gathered in Madrid, just as a government ban on demonstrations came into effect because of Sunday's vote. But they made clear they won't be silenced in silence, miming their frustration at government cuts and unemployment and sealing their lips as the clock struck midnight, holding their hands aloft using the sign language applause of the deaf. But the police never intervened to disperse the illegal protest. The ruling socialists, fearful any intervention would just make matters worse. Come morning, it was clear who'd won the standoff. It was time to straighten up and explain why they'd come.
I wish the whole world was like this place here now. If only everybody was like this.
We're here because we want a better world. Otherwise, we wouldn't bother. It's the only thing we ask for. I think it's all incredible.
If we young people don't take a stand, who's going to do it?
Like Eva and Alvaro, most of the protesters are young, under 30. They're on the front line of Spain's punishing 45% youth unemployment rate. To compare, Britain's youth unemployment figure is at a record high at just over 20%.
Well, the prospects in the short term are awful. There's very little opportunity to find work. The public sector is cutting back, and the private sector is not hiring and also cutting back. So really, Spanish youth who want to get employment and move on really have to start looking abroad.
But this is not only about jobs. Campaigners have taken sharp aim at Spain's mainstream politicians. They've released online a map pinpointing more than 100 places where politicians seeking election tomorrow are also under judicial investigation. And they've called on people simply not to vote, either for the opposition or the party of Prime Minister José Luis Zapatero, his austerity programs enraging Spanish protesters.
They want to leave us without public health, without public education, and they've increased the retirement age. They're attacking what little state welfare we had.
But observers outside the country say for Spain to stay afloat, there's little choice.
Spain is the biggest weak link within the Eurozone. It's twice as big as Ireland, Greece and Portugal put together. It has the potential to shake the entire Eurozone system.
But popular protest can test Europe too. As well as the Spanish demonstrations, there are protests today in the Czech Republic and at the G8 in France. In Spain, they've made clear where they're taking their inspiration from. Europe's cash-strapped mainstream politicians under pressure as never before to come up with political and economic solutions, and fast.